Introduction. Kill your laziness, unleash your power within. Laziness is not just a lack of activity, it is the silent killer of potential, the thief of dreams, and the greatest barrier standing between where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow. The most dangerous thing about laziness is that it doesn't appear as an obvious threat. It disguises itself as comfort, as ease, as the choice to take a break. And before you know it, days, months, even years pass by without you ever reaching the heights you're truly capable of. We've all been there. We've all had those moments where we could have pushed forward, but instead, we chose the path of least resistance. The problem with this is that it's easy to stay stuck in this cycle, and the more you stay in that cycle of laziness, the more you settle for mediocrity, and the more you lose sight of your greatness. Now listen closely, you are capable of far more than you think. You are not lazy. You are not weak. What you are is caught in a pattern. A pattern of inactivity, a pattern of avoidance, a pattern of fear. You are not a slave to laziness. But you have to realize that laziness is not an external force that controls you, it is an internal pattern that you control. And it's time to break that pattern once and for all. Let me tell you something, my friend. Tony Robbins teaches us that you have the power to change your life at any moment, but only if you are willing to take decisive action. We are all given the same 24 hours in a day, but what we do with those hours, how we choose to spend our time, that determines the life we create. Are you going to let laziness dictate your future? Are you going to let it steal your greatness? Or are you going to make the choice to rise up, take control, and unleash the power within? You see, action is the antidote to laziness. It's as simple as that. The longer you stay idle, the more you let your mind and body fall into a state of comfort. But let me remind you of this. Comfort is the enemy of achievement. If you want to live a life of extraordinary success, it starts with one simple decision. The decision to act. The moment you make that choice, you've already won half the battle. The real question is, what are you going to do with that power? How are you going to change the course of your life? How are you going to step into the person you were meant to become? I want to tell you that you don't have to wait for some big moment to get started. This moment, right now, right here, is the moment you decide to break free from the chains of laziness. This is the moment you choose to rise. And let me tell you something else. Once you make the decision to take action, once you make the commitment to leave behind the excuses, the procrastination, and the fear, the world will start to move in your direction. So, are you ready? Are you ready to stop wasting another second of your life? Are you ready to stop being the person who dreams but never does? The time to act is now. Together, we're going to break through every limiting belief, every excuse, every ounce of laziness that holds you back. And when you do, you will look back and realize that your greatest moments were waiting on the other side of your willingness to take action. Now let's dive in because your journey to greatness begins today. Let's dive into these 10 essential steps for killing your laziness and unleashing your potential. Chapter 1. Recognizing the power of choice. Let me start with something fundamental. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your decisions. Every single moment you are faced with a choice to act or to remain idle, a choice to push forward or to stay comfortable. The most powerful thing you have in this world, the one thing that can change your life in an instant, is the power to choose. You might be sitting there thinking, I don't have a choice. My circumstances are holding me back. But let me ask you, who controls your actions? Who controls your time? Who controls your mindset? The answer is you. You see, we often fool ourselves into thinking that our circumstances are bigger than our willpower, bigger than our ability to act. But that's a lie. The truth is that circumstances are just the backdrop of your life. They don't control you, you control how you respond to them. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control what you do about it. Tony Robbins teaches us that every decision you make, no matter how small, leads you down one of two paths, either toward your dreams and success or toward stagnation and regret. Every time you decide to procrastinate, to hit the snooze button, to avoid the hard work, you're choosing laziness. You're choosing to stay stuck. But every time you decide to take action, to face discomfort, to push through fear, you're choosing growth. You're choosing your future. Now here's the key: you are in charge of these decisions. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you're a victim of your circumstances. You might feel overwhelmed, tired, or like you're stuck in a rut, but you always have the ability to make a different decision. And here's the thing: it only takes one decision to change everything. The moment you choose to take responsibility for your actions, the moment you choose to stop making excuses and start making progress, everything begins to shift. The most important thing I want you to understand right now is that laziness is not a permanent condition. It's simply a pattern, and patterns are made by decisions. If you're stuck in a pattern of procrastination or avoidance, it's because you've been repeatedly making the choice to stay comfortable, to avoid the discomfort of action. But here's the good news: you can decide to make a new choice at any moment. You have the power to break the pattern of laziness. All you have to do is decide. Think about it. Every time you choose to take action, no matter how small the step, you are training your brain to act with power, to act with purpose. You are reinforcing a new pattern. The more you make the choice to act, the easier it becomes. You'll notice that your energy shifts, your focus sharpens, and your confidence grows. This is why the power of choice is your greatest weapon. It doesn't matter where you've been, what mistakes you've made, or how many times you've failed. What matters is what you choose to do right now. Every moment is a new opportunity. And every time you make the choice to act, you're sending a message to your subconscious mind that says, I am in control. I'm not a victim. I am a creator of my life. So, don't let laziness be the default. Don't let comfort dictate your destiny. Choose to step into action. Choose to take that first step, even if it's small. You don't have to wait for motivation to come. Motivation follows action. The more you act, the more motivation you will generate. The more you choose to be powerful, the more powerful you become. Remember this: you have the power to choose differently at any moment. Your future is not written by your circumstances, it's written by your decisions. So make a new decision today. Choose to rise. Choose to take action. Your destiny is waiting for you, and it starts with one powerful choice. Chapter 2: Understand the root cause of laziness. Laziness is not a personality trait, it is a symptom of something deeper. And until you identify the root cause, you'll continue to struggle with it no matter how hard you try to push through. Most people believe that laziness is simply a lack of willpower, that if they just had more discipline or motivation they could overcome it. But let me tell you, that's not the full picture. Laziness, procrastination, and inaction are often signs of fear, uncertainty, and unresolved emotions. When you address the real cause, you can finally break free from its grip. Tony Robbins teaches us that our emotions and beliefs drive our behaviors, and laziness is no exception. You don't just wake up one day and decide to be lazy. No, laziness is a symptom of a deeper issue, and it can show up in many forms. Maybe you're afraid of failing, or maybe you're unsure of what you truly want in life. It could be that you're feeling overwhelmed by everything you have to do, or maybe you're just emotionally drained and burnt out. Whatever it is, the first step in conquering laziness is understanding what's really holding you back. Because until you dig deep, laziness will continue to be an obstacle that prevents you from reaching your full potential. Let's start with fear. Fear of failure is one of the most common roots of laziness. When you're afraid of failing, you avoid taking action because your brain wants to protect you from the pain of disappointment. The fear of failure can be so powerful that it paralyzes you. It convinces you that it's better to do nothing than risk failing. And so, you stay stuck. But here's the truth: failure is not the enemy. Failure is a stepping stone. It's part of the journey. Every successful person has failed many times before they succeeded. You have to embrace failure as feedback, not as a sign that you're not good enough. Another common cause of laziness is self-doubt. If you don't believe in your own abilities, it's easy to fall into a pattern of inactivity. When you doubt yourself, you hesitate to take action because you're not sure you can succeed. You wonder, what if I'm not smart enough? What if I'm not capable? The truth is, those doubts are just stories your mind is telling you to keep you safe. They're not real. You are far more capable than you give yourself credit for. You've done hard things before. You've faced challenges and come out on top. Now it's time to remind yourself of your strength and move forward despite the fear. But sometimes the root cause of laziness isn't fear or self-doubt. It's a lack of clarity. If you're unclear on what you want, or if you don't have a clear sense of purpose, it's easy to drift. Without a clear vision, everything can feel overwhelming. You don't know where to start, so you do nothing. This is why clarity is power. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, laziness becomes irrelevant. You will take action because your vision will pull you forward. So take the time to ask yourself, what do I want? What am I really working for? Sometimes, laziness can also stem from emotional exhaustion or burnout. If you've been pushing yourself too hard, juggling too many responsibilities, or constantly trying to please others, your energy reserves can deplete. When you're emotionally drained, the idea of taking on more tasks feels impossible. If this is you, it's time to reset and recharge. You can't pour from an empty cup. It's essential to prioritize your emotional health, take care of your physical body, and give yourself the space to recover. Only then will you have the energy and drive to take action again. Once you've identified the root cause of your laziness, you can begin to address it directly. Self-awareness is the first step toward transformation. Once you understand what's driving your inaction, you can choose to change it. If fear is holding you back, take a step toward embracing failure as part of your growth. If self-doubt is paralyzing you, start building your confidence with small wins. If lack of clarity is keeping you stuck, take the time to define your vision and purpose. If emotional exhaustion is your culprit, give yourself permission to rest and recharge. Remember, you have the power to change your mindset and your behavior. Laziness is not who you are. It's simply a pattern that you can break. So, take a deep breath, get clear on what's really going on beneath the surface, and commit to doing something about it. Once you address the root cause, the grip of laziness will begin to loosen, and your power to take action will return. Chapter 3. Change your state. Let me ask you something. How do you feel right now? Are you energized, excited, and ready to take on the world? Or do you feel sluggish, unmotivated, and maybe a little overwhelmed? The truth is, how you feel in this very moment directly impacts how you behave. If you're feeling tired, lethargic, or unmotivated, it's easy to fall into the trap of laziness. But here's the thing, your emotions are not set in stone. You can change how you feel at any moment. You have the power to change your state, and when you do, you change the way you show up in the world. And that's where everything shifts. Tony Robbins teaches us one of the most powerful principles in personal development. The way you feel is how you act. Think about that. If you're feeling low energy, drained, or uninspired, it's almost impossible to summon the motivation to take action. But if you take charge of your state and change how you're feeling, suddenly, everything becomes possible. You feel more empowered, more confident, and more ready to face the challenges ahead. Now, how do you change your state? It starts with action. When you change your physical state, you change your mental and emotional state. The first thing you can do is move your body. Sounds simple, right? But when you're feeling stuck, the quickest way to snap out of a lazy, lethargic mindset is to get your body moving. Exercise is an immediate mood changer. When you get your body moving, you increase blood flow, release endorphins, and flood your brain with positive energy. This is not just a theory, it's biology at work. The more you move, the more energized and alert you feel. Tony Robbins emphasizes this all the time. Action creates energy. If you're waiting for motivation to come before you act, you'll be waiting forever. Motivation doesn't just appear. Motivation is the result of action. You take one small action and it sparks a chain reaction that fuels your energy, your focus, and your drive. So, what does this look like in practice? Start by engaging in some physical activity. It doesn't have to be a full workout at the gym. Get up, stretch, walk around, jump in place, or do some quick bodyweight exercises. Just get your blood pumping. Try jumping jacks, a few minutes of dancing, or even a brisk walk outside. It doesn't matter what it is, just move. The moment you do, you'll feel your energy start to rise and your mental fog will begin to clear. You'll instantly shift into a more empowered, high-energy state. But it's not just about moving your body, it's about changing your posture as well. Stand tall, square your shoulders, hold your head high, and take up space. If you want to feel more confident, more in control, and more ready to tackle your tasks, change your posture. How you hold your body influences how you feel. If you're hunched over, slumped, or curling up in a ball, it's sending a signal to your brain that you're tired, defeated, or overwhelmed. But when you stand tall, chest out, shoulders back, you immediately feel more powerful, more capable, and ready to take on anything. And don't underestimate the power of changing your focus. Your focus determines your feelings. If you're focused on everything you have to do, or if you're thinking about how hard or overwhelming something is, your energy will drain. But if you shift your focus to what you can do, to the progress you have made, or to the excitement of achieving your goal, you'll feel a surge of motivation. Start asking yourself, what's the next step I can take? What can I do right now that will move me forward? When you focus on the next simple action, you get out of your head and into a state of movement. Remember, your state dictates your story. If you're in a low-energy state, you'll tell yourself a story of "I can't do this" or "I'm too tired." But when you change your state, your story changes. You start telling yourself, "I can do this. I am capable. I am in control." And when you change your story, you change your life. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment to get started. You don't need to wait for motivation to strike. The moment you take action, the moment you change your state, is the moment everything begins to shift. So, right now, get up, move your body, change your posture, shift your focus, and watch as your energy, your confidence, and your ability to take action transforms. When you change your state, you change your destiny. It all starts with that decision to take control of how you feel, how you act, and how you show up. And once you realize that, you'll understand that you hold the power to change your life. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to stay stuck in that low-energy state? Or are you going to choose to step into your power and take action? The choice is yours. Chapter 4. Set clear and compelling goals. Let me ask you something important. What's driving you right now? What's pulling you forward when the going gets tough? If you're feeling stuck or struggling with laziness, it might be because you don't have clear, compelling goals that ignite your passion and energy. Tony Robbins often says, "People are not lazy, they simply have impotent goals." What does that mean? It means that the reason so many of us fall into patterns of procrastination and inaction is because our goals aren't big enough, bold enough, or meaningful enough to get us moving. When you don't have a clear and exciting target in your sights, it's easy to drift, to waste time, or to simply not show up. You lack direction. You lack a reason to push through the discomfort. But here's the good news. You can change that today. You have the power to set goals that are so compelling, so exciting, and so deeply aligned with your values, that laziness becomes irrelevant. When you have a goal that lights a fire inside you, that pulls you forward with an irresistible energy, you will find the motivation and drive to keep going, no matter how tough things get. The first step in breaking free from laziness is to get clear about what you want. Clarity is power. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. You can't hit a target you can't see. So, take a moment and ask yourself, what do I really want? Not what you think you should want, but what truly excites you. What would make you feel alive, fulfilled, and like you're living with purpose? But here's the catch. Your goals must be compelling. If your goals are not emotionally charged, if they don't tap into your deepest desires and drive you to take action, you'll find it hard to stay motivated. It's not enough to say, "I want to lose 10 pounds," or "I want to make more money." Those are good intentions, but they lack the emotional charge needed to push you into action. You need to dig deeper. Tony Robbins always teaches that the stronger your why, the greater your motivation. If your goal is connected to a deeper sense of purpose, it becomes much more than a to-do list. It becomes your mission. For example, instead of just saying, "I want to lose weight," ask yourself, "Why do I want this?" Maybe it's because you want to be able to play with your kids without getting winded. Maybe it's because you want to feel confident and energized, or because you want to be around for your family for many years to come. The moment you connect your goal to a deeper emotional drive, it becomes a source of unstoppable energy. Create goals that challenge you. Don't just settle for goals that are easy to achieve. Tony Robbins says, "The purpose of life is to grow, to expand, to reach beyond your current limits." If your goals don't stretch you, they won't inspire you to take action. Choose goals that challenge you to become a better version of yourself. Set goals that require you to grow, to learn, to face your fears, and to step out of your comfort zone. When your goals are clear, emotionally compelling, and challenging, they become the fuel that powers you through the inevitable moments of resistance. Set a goal that excites you, that scares you a little, and that makes you feel alive. When you wake up every morning with a purpose, with a clear vision of what you want to achieve, your drive and motivation will shift into high gear. Break your goals into manageable steps. A massive goal can feel overwhelming, but when you break it down into smaller, actionable steps, each one becomes a victory in itself. Every time you achieve a small step, you're reinforcing your belief in your ability to succeed, and you build momentum. That momentum will carry you forward when the going gets tough. You see, laziness isn't about a lack of willpower. It's about a lack of direction. Goals give you direction. They give you purpose. When you have a clear and compelling reason to get up every day and take action, laziness fades into the background. So, make sure your goals are so compelling that they fire you up every single day. Set goals that challenge you, inspire you, and make you feel like you're moving towards something bigger than yourself. The power is in your hands. It's time to make your goals so meaningful, so exciting that you can't wait to get started. When you do, you'll discover that laziness will no longer have a hold on you. You'll be unstoppable. So, what's your goal? What are you going to commit to today that will ignite your drive and push you toward the life you truly desire? Set that goal, and watch how it transforms everything. Chapter 5. Break it down, the power of small wins. Here's a truth that might hit hard. The reason so many of us give in to laziness is because we feel overwhelmed. When we look at a huge goal or an enormous task, it can feel like staring up at a mountain, and when you're standing at the foot of that mountain, it's easy to say, "There's no way I can climb that." The sheer magnitude of the task is enough to paralyze you into inaction. And so, instead of taking the first step, we procrastinate, we make excuses, and we allow laziness to creep in. But I'm here to tell you that you don't need to climb the whole mountain today. In fact, you don't need to worry about the entire mountain at all. What you need to do is take one step, just one. And then take the next. And then the next. The key to breaking through laziness is learning how to break your goals down into small, manageable steps. Tony Robbins says, "Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. When you break down your goals into bite-sized pieces, you create momentum. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of your goal, you begin to see it as a series of small, achievable tasks. And each time you take one of those small actions, you're creating a win, a victory. And that victory fuels you to take the next step. Let's put this into perspective. Think about a time when you've accomplished something great. Maybe it was a project at work, a personal achievement, or even something as simple as completing a workout routine. The key to success wasn't that you did it all at once, it was that you took it one step at a time. Each small win you achieved built upon the previous one, and before you knew it, you had momentum on your side and the task no longer felt so insurmountable. So, the next time you look at a massive goal and feel that sense of dread or overwhelm, remind yourself, it's not about doing it all today. It's about focusing on what you can do right now. Start with a single action. Break down the larger task into smaller components. If your goal is to write a book, don't think about the entire manuscript. Instead, think about writing one page today or even one paragraph. If your goal is to get in shape, don't focus on the whole workout. Focus on putting on your gym clothes, driving to the gym, or doing just 5 minutes of exercise. And here's the key: celebrate every small win. Every time you take one of those small actions, no matter how insignificant it may seem, you've taken a step closer to your goal. You've created momentum. You've shown yourself that you are capable of making progress. Celebrate that. Acknowledge it. Even if it's just a quick mental celebration or a small victory dance in your living room, when you celebrate, you reinforce that success and prime yourself for the next win. Remember, success isn't about waiting for the perfect moment to tackle everything at once. Success is about taking consistent action, no matter how small, and using those small wins to build unstoppable momentum. Momentum is the force that propels you forward even when you don't feel like it. The more you take action, the more energized and driven you'll become. Eventually, you'll look back and realize that those small, seemingly insignificant steps have added up to something massive. So start small. Break your goals down. And celebrate each step along the way. With every small win, you're building the momentum you need to crush laziness, overcome procrastination, and make your dreams a reality. When you master the power of small wins, you unlock a force that makes everything possible. And that, my friend, is how you turn big dreams into a series of everyday victories. Chapter 6. Harness the power of rituals. Let me tell you something crucial. How you start your day will determine how the rest of your day unfolds. Think about it. Have you ever woken up and immediately felt lazy or uninspired? You roll out of bed, groggy and disoriented, and before you know it, you're scrolling through your phone or putting things off, and the entire day feels like it's slipping through your fingers. That's the power of a poor morning routine. It sets you up for failure before you even start. Tony Robbins has always emphasized the importance of rituals, routines that prime your body, mind, and emotions for success. Your morning rituals are the foundation upon which you build your day. If you wake up without purpose, without intention, laziness and procrastination will slip in like a thief in the night. But when you consciously choose to start your day with energy, clarity, and direction, everything changes. This is why having a morning ritual is so powerful. It's not just about getting things done. It's about shifting your mindset and energy so that you approach everything with confidence and drive. Rituals don't have to be complex, but they must be deliberate. The key is consistency. A ritual done consistently will change the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. It will take you from inertia to unstoppable momentum. Tony Robbins himself is known for his morning ritual, which he calls his hour of power. This includes a series of powerful practices: deep breathing, gratitude, visualization, and physical movement, all designed to wake up the body and the mind. And here's the thing. You don't need to copy his exact ritual, but you must create one that works for you. A ritual that helps you get into a state of power, focus, and excitement about your day. So, what might your morning ritual look like? It could include a combination of practices that inspire you, energize you, and set the tone for the day. Here are a few examples of what might work for you. Meditation or mindfulness. Take 5 to 10 minutes to center yourself. Focus on your breath, clear your mind, and set a positive intention for the day. This helps you regain control of your thoughts and emotions before they begin to control you. Physical activity. Tony Robbins talks about the power of movement. Getting your body moving, whether it's a quick workout, a brisk walk, or stretching, will immediately change your energy. Exercise releases endorphins, floods your body with vitality, and shifts you into a peak state. Gratitude practice. Start your day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude instantly shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right in your life. It primes you for positivity and success, pushing laziness and negativity out of your mind. Visualization. Spend a few minutes visualizing your goals as already accomplished. Feel the emotions of success, fulfillment, and joy. The more vividly you can imagine yourself succeeding, the more real it becomes, and the more motivated you'll feel to take action. Journaling or planning. Take a moment to write down your top priorities for the day. Set your intention and make sure you're clear about what you want to accomplish. When you're clear about what you're working toward, laziness loses its power. The power of rituals lies in their ability to create consistency and build momentum. They help you shift into a high-energy state that drives you to take action, even when you don't feel like it. And here's the truth: the more you do this, the less you'll struggle with laziness. Over time, these rituals will become automatic, and you'll wake up ready to crush the day without hesitation. Tony Robbins always says, "The quality of your life is the quality of your rituals." If you want to make your dreams a reality, if you want to crush laziness and live a life of achievement and fulfillment, you must commit to daily rituals that set you up for success. Your morning doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to be intentional. When you create a powerful morning ritual that works for you, you'll be amazed at how much easier it becomes to take action, stay focused, and avoid falling into the trap of procrastination. Start tomorrow. Create your ritual. Start your day with intention, and watch as your life begins to transform. Laziness won't stand a chance. Chapter 7. Shift your identity. Let me tell you something powerful. Who you believe you are determines everything about how you show up in the world. If you see yourself as someone who is lazy, unmotivated, or a chronic procrastinator, then guess what? You will continue to behave like that person. Your identity shapes your actions. If you identify as an lazy person, no matter how much you want to change, your actions will always reinforce that belief. Tony Robbins teaches that identity is one of the most powerful forces driving human behavior. The truth is, your identity isn't fixed. It's not something you're born with, and it's not something you're stuck with forever. You have the power to redefine yourself at any moment, and in doing so, you change the course of your life. Think about it. Every time you say to yourself, "I'm lazy," or "I'm just not a disciplined person," you are reinforcing a belief that keeps you stuck. Your brain is a powerful machine, and the stories you tell yourself are the instructions it follows. If you tell yourself you're lazy, your brain will look for evidence to prove you're lazy. You'll continue to make excuses, put things off, and fall into the trap of procrastination. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But here's the key: you have the power to rewrite that story. If you want to overcome laziness, you must change your identity, because once you change how you see yourself, your actions will follow. The most profound shift you can make is shifting your identity to one of someone who is disciplined, driven, and action-oriented. Think about the person you want to become, the person who gets up early, takes consistent action, and crushes their goals. What is that person like? How do they think? How do they speak to themselves? What kind of habits do they have? You need to start thinking like that person, speaking like that person, and acting like that person, right now. Tony Robbins often talks about the idea of living as if. Live as if you are already the person you want to become. Act as if you already possess the qualities you desire. If you want to be someone who is disciplined, then start by acting like someone who is disciplined. Set small commitments and keep them. If you want to be driven, start taking action, even when you don't feel like it. If you want to overcome procrastination, stop calling yourself a procrastinator. Start telling yourself, "I am someone who takes immediate action." When you shift your identity, you change the lens through which you view the world. You stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities to prove to yourself who you truly are. Every time you take action, every time you push through discomfort, you reinforce your new identity. You become the person you want to be by showing up as that person, one action at a time. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen quickly if you decide with absolute certainty that you are no longer going to be held back by an old identity that no longer serves you. You have the power to choose who you are right now. And once you make that decision, everything changes. So, today I want you to ask yourself, who do I want to become? What does the version of you who is disciplined, motivated, and driven look like? Start stepping into that identity today. The more you embody that new version of yourself, the more it becomes your reality. You no longer have to struggle with laziness because you've redefined who you are. You are now someone who takes action, who is unstoppable, and who never lets procrastination win. The truth is, you are not stuck with the identity you've been carrying around. You have the power to change it, and in doing so, you change your life. Shift your identity and watch your actions follow. The person you've always wanted to be is already within you. You just need to start living like them. Decide today who you want to be and make the commitment to show up as that person every single day. When you do, laziness will have no place in your life. Chapter 8. Use the power of visualization. Let me ask you this. What do you see when you close your eyes and think about your future? Is it a picture of success, fulfillment, and achievement? Or is it a blur, a fog of uncertainty and self-doubt? The power of visualization is one of the most effective tools you can use to break through laziness and ignite the fire within you. Tony Robbins teaches that visualization is not just about daydreaming. It's about creating a mental blueprint of the life you want, a vivid picture that inspires action. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you visualize success, you are programming your subconscious to believe it's possible. And when you believe it's possible, you're more likely to take the steps necessary to make it real. You see, laziness thrives when we can't see the finish line. It feeds on uncertainty, on fear, on doubt. But when you have a clear, detailed mental image of your success, laziness can't stand a chance. Visualization is the tool that helps you create that clear picture of success, and once you have it, you'll feel an overwhelming sense of motivation to take action. Here's how it works. Picture your success. Take a moment every day to close your eyes and imagine yourself achieving your goals. See it in as much detail as possible. If your goal is to run a marathon, visualize yourself crossing the finish line, feeling strong, energized, and victorious. Feel the emotions, the pride, the exhilaration, the satisfaction. Your mind will start to associate this emotional experience with taking action, and it will pull you forward with positive energy. Create a mental movie. Don't just think about your goal in vague terms. Create a mental movie in which you're the hero. What does it feel like to have already achieved your goal? What are you wearing? Who's there with you? What are you hearing, seeing, and experiencing? The more vividly you can picture the sights, sounds, and emotions of success, the more your mind will start to believe it's a reality. And when your mind believes it's possible, your body follows. Focus on the process, not just the end result. It's easy to get lost in the grand vision of what you want, but visualization is even more powerful when you focus on the process, the small, consistent actions that will get you there. Visualize yourself waking up early, doing the work, putting in the effort. Imagine yourself pushing through resistance, stepping out of your comfort zone, and taking action even when things get tough. This strengthens your resolve, and when the time comes to act, you'll already feel prepared. Feel the gratitude now. Tony Robbins always emphasizes the importance of feeling gratitude in the moment. When you visualize your success, don't just see it happening. Feel the gratitude as if it's already come true. This activates your emotions and programs your mind to focus on abundance rather than lack. Gratitude creates a powerful state of energy that fuels your motivation. When you focus on what you will achieve, you train your brain to seek out opportunities and solutions, rather than problems and excuses. Visualize with purpose. Visualization is not passive, it's a tool of empowerment. Every time you visualize, you are actively taking control of your future. You are not waiting for things to happen, you're making them happen with your mind. The more consistently you practice visualization, the stronger your belief in your ability to succeed becomes. And the more belief you have, the less power laziness and procrastination will have over you. Here's the truth. The mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real. When you visualize success, you're training your brain to expect it. And when your brain expects success, your behavior changes. You show up differently. You take action with purpose. And action, that's where the magic happens. You've heard it before, if you can see it, you can achieve it. Visualization is the first step to creating that future. By painting a clear mental picture of your success, You give yourself the emotional and mental energy needed to break free from laziness, overcome procrastination, and stay focused on your goals. So, take a moment every day, before you start your work, before you take action, before you face any challenge, and visualize yourself succeeding. See it, feel it, believe it. By consistently tapping into the power of your mind, you will fuel your motivation, build unshakable belief, and break through any barrier of laziness. When you see success clearly in your mind's eye, you won't just wait for it to happen. You'll go out and make it happen. Chapter 9. Find an accountability partner. Here's a powerful truth you need to internalize. You cannot achieve greatness alone. No matter how driven, talented, or ambitious you are, there will be times when you need support. Times when laziness threatens to pull you back into your comfort zone and you feel like quitting. In those moments, the difference between success and failure is often found in accountability. Tony Robbins emphasizes time and time again that success is never a solo journey. In fact, one of the most powerful ways to overcome laziness and stay motivated is to find someone who will hold you accountable. When you have an accountability partner, you have someone who believes in your potential, pushes you to do your best, and won't let you settle for mediocrity. They will remind you of your goals, help you stay focused, and encourage you to keep moving forward, even when the going gets tough. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow"? Or "I don't feel like it today, maybe later"? It's so easy to make excuses when you're only accountable to yourself. But when you share your goals with someone else, someone who is committed to your success, those excuses start to fall away. You now have someone who will check in on you, ask you the tough questions, and make sure you stay on track. Why accountability works? Accountability works because it taps into a fundamental human need, the need to live up to our commitments. When we tell someone we're going to do something, we're more likely to follow through because we don't want to let them down. There's a powerful psychological effect that happens when we put our goals out there and make them known to others. We don't want to appear lazy, undisciplined, or unreliable, so we take action to honor our commitments. When you find an accountability partner, you are no longer alone in your pursuit of success. You've created a team, even if it's just one person, who is with you every step of the way. This sense of partnership can significantly reduce feelings of isolation, overwhelm, and doubt. And when the inevitable challenges arise, your accountability partner is there to help you overcome them, to remind you of your why, and to encourage you to keep pushing forward. How to choose the right accountability partner. Now, not just anyone will do as an accountability partner. You need someone who is aligned with your goals, someone who is committed to growth, action, and progress. This person should be someone who genuinely cares about your success, but who will also challenge you when you fall short. The ideal accountability partner isn't just there to offer sympathy, they're there to hold you to a higher standard. Ask yourself, who in your life can push you to be your best? Who will hold you accountable without enabling your laziness? A good accountability partner is someone who doesn't let you off the hook with excuses, but instead helps you dig deeper, take responsibility, and take massive action. If you don't have someone in your immediate circle who fits this role, consider finding a mentor, joining a mastermind group, or even hiring a coach. Tony Robbins himself talks about how important it is to surround yourself with people who challenge you and push you to grow. Social support isn't just a nice to have, it's an essential ingredient in achieving lasting success. The power of social support. Tony Robbins also emphasizes the power of community and the importance of surrounding yourself with people who are committed to growth and achievement. It's easy to fall into laziness when you're surrounded by others who aren't ambitious or don't challenge you. But when you surround yourself with high-performing individuals who push you to elevate your standards, your level of accountability skyrockets. The energy of a supportive community is contagious. When you see others taking action, overcoming obstacles, and achieving their goals, you feel inspired to do the same. You're no longer isolated in your journey, you're part of a movement of like-minded individuals who are all striving to be better, do better, and achieve more. The bottom line. If you want to conquer laziness and create lasting change in your life, you need to find someone who will hold you accountable. Accountability is not just about checking in on your progress. It's about creating a partnership that drives you forward, motivates you to take action, and keeps you on the path to success. So, find that person today. Share your goals, commit to taking action, and let them help you stay accountable. And remember, when you surround yourself with people who support your growth and hold you to a higher standard, you will rise to the occasion and achieve greatness. Laziness has no power when you have someone in your corner pushing you to be your best. Chapter 10. Commit to massive action. Let's cut to the chase. The only way to kill laziness is to take massive action. Let me be clear, action is the antidote to procrastination. You can read all the books, set all the goals, and have the most motivating visualization techniques in the world, but if you don't take action, you will never move forward. Tony Robbins teaches us that the difference between success and failure is often the willingness to take action, even when you don't feel ready. Too many people wait for the perfect moment, for the stars to align, for everything to be just right. But here's the truth, the perfect moment never comes. There is never going to be a time when everything feels ideal. The longer you wait for things to line up, the more you delay your success. Perfection is the enemy of progress. So what do? You act, and you act now. The power of momentum. Let's talk about momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Once you start moving in the right direction, momentum builds, and the momentum propels you forward. Massive action is the key to creating that momentum. Even when you don't feel ready, even when you feel uncertain, the power is in starting. When you take that first step, no matter how small, you break the cycle of inertia. That first step might not feel like much, but it's enough to get things moving. Tony Robbins often says, the path to success is to take massive, determined action. If you want to break free from laziness, you need to embrace this mindset. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need a perfect plan. What you need is the courage to act. Once you take that action, the answers, the solutions, the opportunities will start to reveal themselves. The more you act, the more you learn, and the more you refine your path to success. Here's a powerful truth. Confidence comes from action. So many people wait to feel confident before they take the first step. But confidence doesn't show up before you act. It shows up as a result of you taking action. When you push yourself to take action even when you don't feel like it, you begin to realize that you're capable of far more than you thought. With every step, you prove to yourself that you have the ability to overcome obstacles, to push through discomfort, and to keep moving forward. And guess what? That builds momentum. Commit to consistent action. The secret to massive action is consistency. It's easy to start strong but then fall off track when things get tough. Success doesn't come from big bursts of action. It comes from consistent, daily effort. Tony Robbins teaches that you must make a commitment to doing something every single day, no matter how small, toward your goal. Whether it's working on your fitness, writing a page of a book, or making a business call, taking consistent action creates a ripple effect. Let's face it, there are days when motivation will be low, and the couch will seem way more appealing than your to-do list. But those are the days that matter the most. On the days you don't feel like it, those are the days you need to push hardest. The more you push through the resistance, the more you prove to yourself that you're capable of achieving anything. Action doesn't have to be grandiose. It doesn't have to be perfect. But it must be consistent. Each step forward is a victory. Each action you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goal. So, make a commitment today, commit to taking action no matter how small, every single day. The power of doing overthinking. Too many people get stuck in the cycle of overthinking, overplanning, and overanalyzing. They get paralyzed by perfection. But Tony Robbins says, the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably handle. If you wait until everything feels perfectly clear or until you have every detail figured out, you'll be waiting forever. Instead of thinking, start doing. Massive action doesn't mean that you're always going to have all the answers right away. But taking action creates clarity. As you take action, you'll learn what works and what doesn't. You'll refine your approach and make adjustments along the way. And guess what? The more action you take, the more confident and capable you'll become. Conclusion: the secret to success is simple. Here's the bottom line. Massive action is the key to overcoming laziness and unlocking your true potential. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take the first step, then the next, and then the next. And as you do, momentum will build, confidence will grow, and success will follow. So what are you waiting for? Commit to massive action today. Every small step you take towards your goal will build momentum and get you closer to the life you've always dreamed of. Action is the bridge between your dreams and reality. The only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?